I am I am probably the most enraged that I have been in several months, years even, just because I've hit a point in my life in which I have completely detached from all expectation of me. I've been so agitated recently, I can hardly function normally without just becoming so utterly enraged by something practically minuscule. In hindsight, at least, you think it's like, this is nothing to be concerned about, but it's just at this point in my life, and though I've lived so little of life, I feel as though I've seen all that I need to see. By any standard, I am young. You know, I am young and naive and stupid. And I have, at least in my experience, I simply see no reason to continue this and to go further with any sort of writhe and struggle against the anaconda that's grabbing me by the neck and strangling me every day. I'm drowning, practically. Every day it feels as though I'm screaming out the pained whimpers of a dying dog just begging to be taken out back and put down already. And every day I wonder, how loudly do I have to scream to be noticed? What signs do I have to show for someone to maybe take pity? I'm not entirely sure pity is the goal of this, nor do I really want it to be. But for someone to reach out, because when you do it, when you're the one that wants to reach out and say, this is how I'm feeling, you know, I'm lost, I'm overwhelmed, I feel stupid every day in school, I'm angry, I'm volatile. They look at you like you're crazy because, you know, well, I don't see that in you. You seem fine to me. You seem like an upstanding young man. You've got such a bright future ahead of you. So many opportunities. You've got so many opportunities, right? What happens when you're not motivated to take any of them? What if you, in the end, realize that this charade that the Lord has put for you is just that, a charade? When you see the world around you with this borderline satanic policies, with Talmudic influence pervading every aspect of life itself, you no longer want to be a part of it. And then when you distance yourself, when you ostracize yourself, then you just get pushed away even more because you're not following what's supposed to be followed. And in that case, well, you're out of luck. Because socially, even in university, the land of opportunity where everyone makes all their friends for life, where everyone has all their connections, you know, you're nothing more than an outcast. And that's how it's been practically my entire educational career. I've never fit in. I'm sure if you were to ask anyone who had the misfortune of knowing me throughout my life, that would be true. That I was outcast, that I was generally a strange person with odd behaviors that could easily be explained away by some fake mental illness that some doctor can just make up on the spot. Put them on more SSRIs, you know? Never again with that. Never again with that. That was worst time of my life. But at this point, this bloated corpse and its organs, who still work despite knowing the brain is dead, I no longer want to be in the digestional tract of this corpse. The satanic Talmudic influences of this world are simply cause for me to not participate in it. To say that this is the Lord's domain is futile. Futile. Fucking however it's pronounced, right? Simple language. Can't speak. Can't even talk. He doesn't even know English. Why should we listen to him at all? He doesn't even know English. This guy's crazy. He's cuckoo in the fucking head, huh? Excuse my language. I apologize for that. I should not be so mad. I should not be so angry. But it is so hard not to resent this world that you live in. I beg for the Lord to deliver me. I beg, revelate me, Lord. Give me some vision. Tell me what is next. You have given me so much guidance through my life, and for that I am eternally thankful. And I thank you, Lord, for telling me, for letting me come to this conclusion that this earth is meaningless. There is no point to continuing this, to writhing around when you have been shot through the lungs. For trying to gasp for air at that point. No point. And something like that, to me at least, is... There's someone going in their car here. I hope they don't eavesdrop. Hi! For someone like me who has spent their whole life ostracized to no end, you develop this idea that there's no point to even trying to be normal. Because every time you try to be normal, every time you try to integrate, you get spat on. You are pushed away at every opportunity. Because you are not normal, and you will never be normal. And so that leads to resentment, that leads to anger and hatred. And even though I try to suppress those emotions, because those aren't right, I have no reason to resent the pawns who know not what they do. Because I'm sure most people aren't consciously looking at me and saying, I want to fuck with that guy. I want to, I'm feeling real angry today. Let's go fuck with this kid, right? No, right? No, obviously not. It's more as if it's just like conditioning and the way people interact with one another, and then this person doesn't fit the mold is like, okay, well, I treat this person this way, and then that person has just continued to be ostracized and stepped on and put aside. And I suppose I can't be too mad at that, because I don't believe it to be a choice that is made so consciously. I believe it to be something that's just kind of hardwired after years of social conditioning through godless secular governance and the inebriation of the mind through this worthless consumerism that everyone is forced upon. We are raped in the world by consumerism, by secularism, by all of this, and we don't even realize it because we are raped from birth and we have no idea what consent is. We think it's the norm, don't we? This is just how the world functions, with all of this troglodyte slop that we're forced to endure every day. I understand that isn't the most nuanced of complaints. Oh boy. Gen Z youth is disenfranchised with corporatism. He hates the fact that most, if not all, of our identities are forced upon us by corporate interests and through oligarchical interests. Oh. Who would have thought, right? Who would have thunk someone like that would be countercultural? Even though most countercultural movements, or at least those that claim to be, are just as entwined with that corporate identity as the people who champion capitalism. This is not nuanced criticism at all. This is from someone who is simply tired. I'm tired. I'm very tired. I beg the Lord to make it end every day. And I'm sure when the time comes for it to end, I will know. And when that day comes, I will truly know blessing as it was, miracle as it was, as like a leper being cured. But for now, I am left to suffer in a domain that I cannot truly say is the Lord's. I persist on, for I know the Good Shepherd will eventually give me to the flock. The Good Shepherd will eventually let me know my time has come, and I will go, and I will finally be free. Spiritually, physically, whatever it may be. That's something I can look forward to, and that's just kind of how I still function in these trying times. Thank you for listening to this unhinged rant, I suppose. You know, eventually someone's got to get it off their mind, eventually. God bless you. God bless you.